Christmas has made me, 27F, want to terminate my friendship with my best friend, 32F. My best friend asked if she could spend Christmas at our house a couple months back and I said of course. It'll be nice to have my friend here. The last few weeks I've been trying to get an idea of times she will be here for the day so I can plan Christmas dinner etc. But every time she said that she didn't know and it depends on her boyfriend. Annoying. But fine. She told me a couple days ago that she'd be up at the crack of dawn, which I wasn't expecting, but okay. So my partner and I opened our presents the night before and I made sure to get an early night to be up early for my friend coming over. She comes early as expected and I spend the morning chilling with her, playing games and having some nibbles before I get started on the dinner. I got a lot of extra in since she and my partner's brother would be there. As I was peeling potatoes, she announced that her boyfriend was outside. I was like, huh? What do you mean? She told me that his plans hadn't worked out so she was going to spend the rest of the day with him instead. This really irked me. I'd planned our Christmas around her being here, but not as much as the next part. To preface the next part, I need to go back a couple years. In 2021 my baby daughter died. It was the worst time of my life and that Christmas was horrific. It was made worse by my sister telling me that she was pregnant even though my other sister had asked her if she could wait until Christmas was over, but she ignored her. As someone who has just lost their child, it's really hard to hear that sort of thing as much as you are happy for your loved ones. It brings up a lot of memory and emotion, which is difficult. My best friend knew this and listened to me cry back then. Back to my best friend about to abruptly leave as I'm peeling spuds. She decides to then tell me that she is pregnant. She then decides to moan for the next few minutes about how annoying pregnancy is while I'm trying not to cry and just repeating, "You'll be fine." She leaves. There's been such a buildup of annoyance over my friend for the last 2 years. She's come to me every time they fight and she's cried hard. I've listened to her and held her as she's been upset about the fact they've thrown bottles at each other across pubs, how he cheated on her and she keyed his car, how she ran at him in her street naked just to punch him etc. Just last week she phoned me at night doing her usual drunk crying to me on the phone as they once again were fighting in the pub and asking if she could come here. I don't say yes because every time I have in the past it's not gone that way. I'll book taxis for her to just not take them. I'm banned from some taxi services now because of it. She'll at some point during the call announce that he's calling her, hang up immediately, and I won't hear from her for up to 2 weeks. I just feel like today was the last straw for me. Please don't misunderstand me. I'd be incredibly happy for my friend having a baby, for her to be happy. If it wasn't for all of the surrounding circumstances and the way that she told me, I'd literally had a cry to her an hour previous about how hard I find Christmas. I just find it incredibly inconsiderate the whole way it's gone down, and I'm sick of being her back up for when she's bored. I guess I'm just looking to rant. Maybe get your stories of similarish situations to not feel alone. It absolutely sucks to have to let go of a friend, but I honestly don't see how I can continue this relationship. Edit: to her defense, I believe she literally just found out she was pregnant as she had said no to a drink today and stated she'd stopped vaping. So there is that. I don't doubt, however, that the fighting will likely continue. For those asking if it's a potential DV situation, I wouldn't say so. The physical comes from her side really. Thank you so much to everyone who has commented. It's reaffirmed my decision, which is a good thing. I suppose I gave her so many chances over the last couple years because we've been friends for over a decade, and I guess I hoped she'd sort herself out in the end, but clearly, no dice, and it's just getting worse. Second edit: with the DV situation, I just meant that he doesn't seem to be abusing her the other way around is more likely, but they both seem to be on an even keel in that regard, so IDK. I've tried to stay out of that. You're not her friend. You're her crutch. And when she doesn't need you, she has no problem sticking you in a closet and forgetting about you until the next time she needs you. You deserve better. Your feelings about her are totally valid. She sounds incredibly selfish and like she lacks introspection. She doesn't sound like a great friend. 1. Personally, I would have ended this friendship a long time ago. Someone who throws bottles and runs naked in the street to punch their boyfriend is someone who just doesn't get to stay in my life. It doesn't matter if that particular behavior isn't directed at you. That shows a kind of instability and drama that I'm simply not going to invite into my life. Point 2. She's clearly not a real friend to you. And I'm so sorry you were treated with so little consideration by someone you cared for and thought you were close to. She was using you. Point 3. If you are hosting Christmas, you tell people what the plans are. Don't let anyone in the future dictate your day like that. I know it feels like a lot right now, but you'll be better off without her. She was drunk calling you last week but has told you she's pregnant today? Worrying. You see a friend. She sees an emotional support person, not an overreaction on your part. She's woefully inconsiderate of you, your time, your space and energy. Also, read the room. She doesn't care what you've gone through. It's all about her. Time to move on. There's better people out there who aren't a drain on you and who will appreciate you. Your friend comes off horribly inconsiderate and thoughtless. It's bizarre and rude not to stay for longer. Or discuss more detailed plans in advance. Or maybe have the BF say hello. Viewed in the most positive light, your friend did want to see you and was excited to share her pregnancy, but is some kind of scatterbrain or bad planner, and also forgot about your tragic incident. It sounds like your friend has some problems, especially with this boyfriend, and not being able to say no, but she should still treat you a lot better. Sorry. That was a real bummer. Honey, she's losing a friend. You're losing an adult-sized weight off your shoulders. Your last lines are what you send her after. You say, "I'm happy for you, but I can't do this anymore. I am resigning from the job of being your backup to bail you out and be audience to your toxic relationship. I am grateful that you were there for me after my baby died. But hopefully you will never have to experience how such a loss continues on. Your pregnancy news today was delivered with such insensitivity and cruelty. I realized you aren't really my friend. I am no longer going to rearrange my life around you and your wants. Yes, it sucks. But you don't need people in your life who treat you with cruelty. I invite you to reflect on why you didn't end it much sooner. Are you perhaps a little too familiar with it? Your friend is getting trashed at pubs while she knows she is pregnant. She's going to have a baby with fetal alcohol syndrome. She's bringing a baby into an abusive, unstable home life. There is so much wrong with this. She uses you as an emotional dumping ground, but she doesn't care about your emotional needs. You want a friend. She wants a sidekick she can cancel out on. I cut off my former best friend after 32 years and I felt nothing but relief. She was very egocentric and selfish, and it only got worse the older we got. When I stopped being her emotional support animal, she got pissed and I cut her off. Your friend is a very poor friend and you have every right and should terminate this friendship. Does this person bring you joy or just drain you? If it's the latter, then it's time to quietly bring the relationship to an end. Your feelings are completely valid, and I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss. Take care. Cut her loose. It doesn't need to be a dramatic ordeal. Just tell her you think you guys aren't compatible and you're moving forward without her friendship. Block her on everything and don't look back. I had a friend like this for about 10 years. She was my best friend, and so of course I'd always drop what I was doing to help her with her many dramas and woes. She never gave me the same consideration. In fact, she'd spread gossip about me and make wild accusations. Following an argument one year, it was actually her who told me we couldn't be friends anymore. I never even responded. I just blocked her on everything and moved on with my life. It's been about 10 years now and my life is immensely different. You don't realize how this person's toxic behavior is affecting your everyday life. How her poor choices normalize this in your own life, if even to a lesser degree. I always felt like because we had been friends so long and been through so much and she was there for me when my dad died, that I owed it to her to remain loyal. But it was incorrect thinking on my part. My life and mental health are so much better without her around. So I tell you, cut her off. In a year from now you'll look back at everything much more clearly and realize it's the best move. What really stood out to me in this post is not so much your terrible friend's behaviors. Because they are terrible, she sounds like a mess, a user, and an abuser. But the way you repeatedly bend over backwards to accommodate it, being banned from multiple taxi services, getting up at the crack of dawn on Christmas, and making your BF do the same, to fit in her wishy-washy plans, standing there wishing her well while she bitches about being pregnant on a day she knows is doubly difficult for you because your child died. I'm not a huge fan of the adage, we show people how to treat us, because it doesn't account for abusive situations and power dynamics. But in your case, I really think you need to sit down with that thought and figure out why you try so hard to please someone who does not reciprocate these actions. Do you just do this for her? Or is it a pattern in your life? Why are you so eager to let her treat you like an emotional support animal? If you're not already in therapy, it may be helpful to go and unpack these people-pleasing behaviors. Frankly, I would have let her fade out of my life long ago. You're her friend, but she's not yours. She seems like she's bad for your mental health, and you should probably see to that instead of her. At 32, you're a pretty fully formed person. So unless your friend decides to take a good hard look in the mirror and make some much-needed changes, what you got this Christmas visit is what you can expect going forward. For the foreseeable future, you likely are better off without her. I am so sorry for your loss. I can only imagine how painful this was for you. Take care of yourself, and let your true friends take care of you. Start with boundaries, and then see if it's time to end the relationship. She's used to venting and using you as the receptacle. It's time to put a stop to that. And I get blunt with people these days. I am sorry, but I can't cope with up in the air plans. I need set times, or I can catch you next time when you know what your schedule will be. I'm sorry for your loss. The holidays are always hard. Having friends and family to lean into at this time of year should be a comfort. You want to surround yourself with people who appreciate each other, who celebrate one another's success, and are the first to rally support when we're down. Your friend doesn't seem to understand this entire concept. It's time to start missing her calls, and wait a day or week to reply to text. Hopefully she will start to get the hint. She is 32, not 23. All of this behavior is immature, uncaring, selfish, and rude. If she's having a baby with the person she was having all the problems with you described above, it's definitely time for LC or NC. That's a hot mess express heading straight for you. Put your effort into the relationships with people in your life that will suit up and show up, even when it's cold, raining, and they're tired and broke. Regardless of the circumstances, love and appreciate you. Their answer will always be, I will be there in 5 minutes. These are your people, not the ones who only take until you have nothing left to give. Merry Christmas. Big virtual hugs heartsuit. I agree with everyone, you're totally justified in ending this friendship. But please take some time to work on yourself too. Whether through introspection, meditation, etc., or with the help of a counselor. There are several times over the course of this short period you describe where you worked your life around your friend and did not speak your truth. So I wonder where those people-pleasing behaviors have come from. Sending Christmas wishes and hoping you get to have your day exactly how you want it next year.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.